What if I told you the difference between living to 80 versus 100 plus years could be determined by what you do before 8 a.m. every single morning? Today, I'm sharing 7 science-backed morning habits practiced by centenarians worldwide that you can easily incorporate into your routine starting tomorrow. And wait until you hear habit number 5. It's something most Americans completely overlook, yet Mayo Clinic researchers found it reduces mortality risk by 32%. These aren't complicated lifestyle overhauls or expensive regimens. They're simple, practical habits that have been scientifically linked to exceptional longevity. Last year, I met Edith, a vibrant 103-year-old from Arizona who still tends her garden daily and has never been hospitalized. When I asked about her secret, she pointed to her kitchen clock. It was only 7:30 a.m., yet she had already completed a morning routine she'd maintained for over 70 years. "This isn't about living forever," she told me. "It's about living well for as long as you're here." Her energy and clarity immediately convinced me that her morning habits were worth investigating. Habit 1. Early, consistent wake-up. Why do centenarians never hit the snooze button? Research from the University of Pittsburgh reveals seniors who wake early and maintain consistent morning routines perform significantly better on cognitive tests, according to lead researcher Dr. Stephen Smagola. This isn't merely about being a morning person. It's about synchronizing your internal body clock with natural daylight patterns that regulate hundreds of biological processes. When you wake at the same time each day, you're reinforcing healthy circadian rhythms that control everything from hormone production to metabolism, immune function, and even your mood throughout the day. Margaret, age 102 from Minnesota, has risen at 5:45 a.m. every day for the past 40 years, regardless of weekends or holidays. Her consistency isn't about following a rigid schedule, but rather honoring her body's need for predictable patterns. Inconsistent wake times disrupt your body's circadian rhythm, which Johns Hopkins neurologists link directly to cognitive decline and weakened immune function. When your waking time varies by even 30 minutes day to day, your brain and body receive conflicting signals about when to prepare essential hormones and neurotransmitters for the day ahead, essentially creating a mild but chronic state of jet lag. Set your alarm for the same time each morning, ideally before 7 a.m., and get up immediately without snoozing. Place your alarm across the room if necessary, forcing you to physically get out of bed to turn it off. Prepare your morning environment the night before by setting out comfortable clothes and anything you need for your morning routine. Even on weekends, try to maintain wake times within 30 minutes of your weekday schedule. This consistency sends powerful signals to your body that maintain cellular health and cognitive function. Your brain needs this consistency starting tomorrow morning to begin reaping the protective benefits. Research from Northwestern University's Feinberg School of Medicine shows that establishing consistent wake times can begin to normalize circadian rhythms in as little as 3 days, but the cumulative benefits for longevity require long-term commitment. Don't wait another day to start this foundational centenarian habit. Habit 2. Immediate hydration. What's the first thing every centenarian consumes after waking up? It's not coffee, tea, or food. It's water. According to research published in the Journal of the American Medical Association Network Open, older adults who stay well hydrated show considerably fewer chronic health conditions and measurably slower biological aging. This makes perfect sense when you consider that during 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your body loses significant water through respiration and perspiration, up to a full pound of water for many adults. Beginning your day dehydrated forces every system in your body to work harder and less efficiently. Robert, a 101-year-old former teacher from Pennsylvania, drinks 2 full glasses of warm water with lemon before his feet even touch the floor each morning. He keeps a thermal carafe filled the night before on his bedside table. Starting your day, dehydrated forces your heart to work harder, creates inflammation, and impairs cognitive function before you've even had breakfast. Harvard Medical School researchers found that even mild dehydration of just 1 to 2% reduces concentration, memory function, and mental computation, particularly in older adults whose thirst sensation naturally diminishes with age. Place a glass of water by your bedside tonight and drink it immediately upon waking tomorrow. For optimal absorption, drink room temperature water rather than ice cold, which can shock your digestive system. Consider adding a small slice of lemon for added electrolytes and digestive support. Aim for 8 to 16 ounces within the first 15 minutes of waking, before any other beverages or breakfast. If you take medications in the morning, drink a full glass of water with them, rather than just a sip. This ensures proper dissolution and absorption while contributing to your hydration needs. Your cells are dehydrated from sleep right now. Don't wait another day to implement this critical habit. The National Institute on Aging emphasizes that proper hydration is one of the simplest yet most overlooked aspects of healthy aging, with benefits that cascade throughout all body systems. Make immediate morning hydration a non-negotiable part of your daily routine, starting tomorrow. Habit 3. Mindful reflection. Centenarians never start their day with digital distractions or immediate stress. While most Americans reach for their phones within minutes of waking, checking news, emails, or social media, those who've reached the century mark begin with mental stillness. Harvard Medical School researchers found that regular mindfulness practice reduces stress biomarkers, blood pressure, and inflammation markers that accelerate aging. This isn't about elaborate meditation techniques. It's about giving your mind space to transition gently into the day, rather than immediately bombarding it with information and demands. Clara, who celebrated her 100th birthday last month in North Carolina, spends 10 minutes each morning in prayer and gratitude before doing anything else. She sits in the same comfortable chair, often watching the sunrise, and focuses on what she appreciates about her life. Morning stress triggers cortisol release that Mayo Clinic researchers directly link to accelerated cellular aging and impaired immune function. When your first thoughts each day center on worries, deadlines, or negative news, you're essentially programming your nervous system for heightened stress throughout the day, creating a physiological state that promotes inflammation and cellular damage. Take just 5 minutes tomorrow morning to sit quietly, breathe deeply, and set a positive intention for your day. Find a comfortable spot where you won't be disturbed, perhaps with a view of nature if possible. Leave your phone in another room to eliminate the temptation to check it. Focus on your breathing for at least 10 full breath cycles, inhaling slowly through your nose and exhaling completely. Then, identify 3 specific things you're grateful for today, allowing yourself to genuinely feel the appreciation rather than just listing items mentally. Your mind needs this reset every morning. Begin implementing this centenarian practice immediately. Neurologists at UCLA's Longevity Center have documented that morning mindfulness practices create measurable changes in brain activity that improve emotional regulation, cognitive function, and even immune response throughout the day. This simple 5-minute investment pays dividends for your physical and mental health far beyond its brief duration. Habit 4. Light morning movement. How do centenarians maintain mobility and muscle strength into their second century? They never let the sun rise without moving their bodies. The National Institute on Aging reports that gentle morning stretching maintains joint flexibility, improves circulation, and activates mobility-preserving muscle groups critical for independence. What's particularly significant is the timing. movement shortly after waking seems to provide amplified benefits compared to the same activities performed later in the day, likely due to its synergistic effect with naturally elevated cortisol levels that peak around awakening. Thomas, age 104 from Oregon, performs the same 10-minute stretching routine he learned as a young man in the military before breakfast every day. His movements focus on maintaining range of motion in all major joints rather than building strength or endurance. Skipping morning movement allows muscle atrophy to accelerate, with Johns Hopkins researchers finding that just 2 weeks of sedentary mornings can reduce muscle mass measurably in seniors. The loss of muscle tissue is particularly pronounced in the morning hours when anabolic hormones are naturally elevated, making this the optimal window to counteract age-related sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass that typically begins after age 30. Perform 5 minutes of gentle stretches immediately after getting out of bed tomorrow morning. Begin with neck rolls, 5 in each direction, then shoulder circles, 5 forward, 5 backward, followed by gentle side bends, reaching one arm overhead while the opposite arm extends down your side. Continue with slow torso twists while seated on the edge of your bed, knee raises while seated in a chair, and ankle circles to maintain lower body mobility. Focus on smooth, gentle movements rather than pushing to the point of discomfort. Hold each stretch for 20-30 seconds while breathing deeply. Your muscles are losing strength with each passing day. Start this simple morning practice immediately to reverse the damage. The American College of Sports Medicine confirms that even 5 minutes of morning movement stimulates muscle-preserving processes that can significantly slow age-related decline when practiced consistently. This small investment in your mobility each morning pays enormous dividends for maintaining independence and quality of life as you age. Habit 5. Protein-rich breakfast before 8 a.m. Centenarians never skip breakfast, and they never eat processed carbohydrates in the morning. Research from the Harvard School of Public Health shows that consistent protein-rich morning meals stabilize blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and support cellular repair processes essential for longevity. The timing is particularly crucial. Consuming adequate protein before 8 a.m. appears to optimize metabolic function for the entire day, helping to maintain muscle mass and regulate appetite hormones that tend to become dysregulated with age. Marie, who recently turned 101 in Florida, starts every morning with eggs, vegetables, and a handful of nuts, a habit she's maintained since her 40s. She never varies from having protein as the centerpiece of her morning meal. Skipping breakfast or choosing sugary options triggers insulin spikes that Cornell University researchers directly link to accelerated cellular aging and increased cardiovascular risk. When your first meal consists primarily of refined carbohydrates like toast, cereal, or pastries, you're setting yourself up for a blood sugar roller coaster that creates oxidative stress and promotes inflammation throughout your body, essentially accelerating the aging process at the cellular level. Tomorrow morning, eat a breakfast with at least 20 grams of protein before 8 a.m. Eggs, Greek yogurt, or plant protein with vegetables are ideal choices. Aim to consume this meal within an hour of waking to synchronize with your body's natural cortisol rhythm. Include healthy fats like avocado, nuts, or olive oil to further stabilize blood sugar and support cellular membrane health. Add fiber through vegetables or berries to feed beneficial gut bacteria associated with longevity and enhanced immune function. Avoid fruit juices, which lack fiber and cause rapid blood sugar spikes. Your metabolism is waiting for the right morning signals. Make this change tomorrow to start resetting your body's aging clock. The Longevity Institute at the University of Southern California has documented that morning protein consumption significantly affects mTOR signaling pathways that regulate cellular aging processes, potentially creating measurable improvements in biomarkers within just weeks. This simple dietary shift represents one of the most powerful morning habits for promoting healthy aging. Habit 6. Morning sunlight exposure. What free, abundant resource do centenarians make sure to get within 30 minutes of waking? Natural sunlight. Researchers at Stanford University found that morning sunlight exposure for just 10-15 minutes calibrates circadian rhythms and triggers vitamin D production, which Mayo Clinic identifies as crucial for immune function and bone health. This exposure is particularly beneficial when received through the eyes without looking directly at the sun, and on skin not covered by sunscreen, though even brief exposure through a window provides partial benefits. William, who celebrated his 103rd birthday last year in Colorado, has never missed his morning cup of coffee on the porch, regardless of weather, allowing his eyes to receive natural sunlight. Even on cloudy days, he sits outside for at least 15 minutes. Missing morning sunlight disrupts sleep hormones and vitamin D production, which CDC researchers link directly to weakened immune function and increased risk of chronic disease. When your skin and eyes don't receive morning light signals, your pineal gland doesn't properly suppress melatonin production, creating a cascade of hormonal imbalances that affect everything from sleep quality to mood regulation, cognitive function, and even your body's ability to repair cellular damage. Step outside for at least 10 minutes tomorrow morning while enjoying your water or breakfast. If weather permits, expose your face and arms to receive maximum benefit. If you live in a northern climate during winter months, consider using a 10,000 lux light therapy box for 15 to 30 minutes while eating breakfast. Position yourself near east-facing windows when possible to maximize natural light exposure even when indoors. If you wear glasses, consider removing them briefly during this time, as standard glass and plastic lenses block beneficial wavelengths of light from reaching photoreceptors in your retina. Your body's internal clock is waiting for this critical signal. Implement this zero-cost habit tomorrow morning. Chronobiologists at Northwestern University have documented that morning light exposure helps regulate over 20% of human genes that follow circadian patterns, influencing everything from metabolism to immune function and even DNA repair mechanisms. This simple practice of seeking morning light may be one of the most underappreciated yet powerful habits for promoting healthy aging. Habit 7. Connection and purpose. No centenarian starts their day without acknowledging their purpose and human connection. According to research published by the American Medical Association, having strong social connections and a clear sense of purpose reduces mortality risk by up to 29%, comparable to quitting smoking. What's particularly noteworthy is how centenarians intentionally incorporate both purpose and connection into their morning routines, rather than leaving these crucial elements to chance later in the day when other activities might take precedence. Helen, now 102 from Washington State, begins each day by writing a short note to a friend or family member, a practice she's maintained for over 50 years. She keeps stationery on her bedside table and addresses an envelope each evening so it's ready for the morning. Starting your day disconnected from purpose triggers psychological stress that accelerates cellular aging, according to longevity researchers at the University of California. When you wake without a clear sense of meaning or connection to others, your brain registers this as a form of social isolation, activating stress pathways that increase inflammation and suppress immune function, essentially creating a physiological state that accelerates the aging process. Before 8 a.m. tomorrow, either call a loved one for a quick chat, write in a journal about your purpose for the day, or perform one small act of service. Send a thoughtful text message to someone you care about, expressing appreciation for their presence in your life. Write down 3 specific ways you intend to contribute value today, whether through formal work, volunteering, creative expression, or simple kindness to others. Review your calendar not just for appointments, but for opportunities to connect meaningfully with others throughout the day. Your mental health directly impacts your physical longevity. Implement this connection practice tomorrow morning. Researchers at Rush University Medical Center found that seniors with high purpose in life were approximately 2.4 times more likely to remain free of Alzheimer's disease and mild cognitive impairment than those with low purpose in life. By intentionally cultivating purpose and connection first thing each morning, you're essentially priming your neurological and immune systems for optimal function throughout the day. These 7 morning habits, consistent wake times, immediate hydration, mindful reflection, light movement, protein-rich breakfast, sunlight exposure, and purposeful connection, form the foundation of a centenarian morning routine. The most remarkable aspect of these habits is their simplicity and accessibility. They require no special equipment, minimal time, and can be implemented regardless of your current health status or age. While genetics certainly play a role in longevity, research consistently confirms that these daily practices can significantly influence how you age and potentially add years of health and vitality to your life. Which of these 7 centenarian morning habits will you implement tomorrow? Let me know in the comments which one surprised you the most or which you believe will make the biggest difference in your life. If you found this information valuable, please help our community grow by hitting the like button and subscribing for more science-backed longevity insights. Share this video with someone you care about. These simple morning habits could literally add years to their life, and isn't that the greatest gift you could offer?